I've always loved road trips. Something about the open road, the endless sky, and the ever-changing scenery has a way of making me feel alive. So when I planned a solo RV trip across Wyoming, I was excited. I mapped out a few campgrounds along the way, places where I could park for the night and enjoy the wilderness. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, I found myself driving down an isolated highway surrounded by nothing but rolling hills and stretches of pine trees. The next designated campground was still an hour away, but my GPS showed a closer site just off a winding dirt road. I pulled in, expecting a small but populated site, maybe a few other campers. Instead, I found an empty RV park. A dozen or so gravel lots lined the clearing, each with its own electrical hookup and fire pit, but there wasn't a single person in sight. I hesitated but told myself it was a hidden gem, an overlooked spot. I parked my RV, set up camp, and started a small fire. The silence was unnerving. No distant conversations, no clatter of cookware, just the crackling of my fire and the whisper of the wind. As the night deepened, I heard something strange, a soft shuffle, like footsteps on gravel. I turned quickly, expecting to see another camper, but there was no one there. I brushed it off as an animal and went inside my RV, locking the door behind me. Sometime around midnight, I woke up to a low rhythmic tapping. It was coming from outside, near the back of the RV. I froze, my heart hammering in my chest. It wasn't the wind, it was deliberate, like fingers drumming against metal. I grabbed my flashlight, took a deep breath, and cracked the door open, just enough to shine the beam outside. Nothing. The empty campground stretched before me, bathed in pale moonlight. I locked the door again, but sleep didn't come easily. Every now and then, I thought I heard soft footsteps outside, circling, stopping, then starting again. The next morning, I stepped outside, determined to find tracks, something to confirm I wasn't imagining things. And that's when I saw them. Footprints in the dirt, bare footprints, circling my RV over and over. I packed up fast, eager to leave, but my engine wouldn't turn over. The battery was dead. I had checked it the night before. It was fine. I stepped out, cursing under my breath, and that's when I saw something even more disturbing. The other RV spots? The ones that had seemed vacant? They weren't. I saw the outlines of old, abandoned campers, their doors slightly ajar, their windows dark and shattered. How had I not noticed them the night before? A sudden sound made me spin around. A whisper, a breath against my ear. I bolted back inside my RV and frantically tried the ignition again. This time, the engine roared to life. I didn't look back as I sped away, dust kicking up behind me. I don't know what was out there, or who, or what had been walking in the night. I only know one thing: I'll never go back. As I drove away, the GPS started to glitch. The road ahead flickered on the screen, distorting, recalculating. Then, just as I neared the main highway, the GPS spoke in a mechanical voice. "Turn back." My stomach dropped. I turned off the device and kept driving, refusing to listen. But even as I made it to the next town, something felt off. The gas station attendant gave me a strange look as I filled up my tank. "Where are you coming from?" he asked, eyeing my dusty RV. "Some empty campground off Highway 26, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. His face darkened. "That place? Son? No one's been there in years. It burned down back in '92. I felt my blood run cold. Burned down? But I was just there, last night. He shook his head. "You sure about that?" He pointed behind me, and I turned to look at my RV. There, in the dust coating my back window, were smeared handprints, small, childlike prints, and beneath them, scrawled in the grime, were the words, "See you soon."